Now that we have the support arm for the spoiler built, we're ready to go in and start to build this wing that goes across the top of the spoiler. Okay, so here's where we left off with the support arms. And to go ahead and start building this wing shape that's going to go across this support arm, let's go ahead and start things off by creating a NURBS cylinder. Okay, and I'm just going to jump to my side view now and grab this cylinder, pull it up into position. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and rotate this 90 degrees in the Z-axis, and that'll just lay this cylinder over on its side. Now what we can do is just scale this down so that it's a little bit more of a flattened sort of oval shape. And now I can just move to my top view and scale this out. And I'm going to right click on this surface, go to Control Vertex, and grab these control vertices that are on either end of this cylinder, and just use my Move tool to pull these forward and give this wing a little bit more of a sweeping shape. Okay, you might also be able to scale this down and just sort of pinch these edges so that you get a little bit more of a dynamic shape with this wing. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and lower this so that it sits on top of these support arms. Okay, now if you look at my image plane in the side view, you can see that on the back of this wing, there's an actual ridge that rises up off the back. So let's go ahead and get that part built, and I'm going to do that by right-clicking on this NURBS object, and let's go to Hull Selection. Okay, and what I can do is just click on one of these edges, and it should highlight all of the control vertices that run along that entire span. So now with all of those selected, we can just pull this up and start to build out this ridge that rises up off the back of this wing. But if I go back to my object mode and look at this, that rise is much too gradual. Okay, it's not a real, more of a sudden rise like what you can see in the image planes back behind here. So to do that, we're actually going to need another hole that's running right through here. And to build that, what we can do is right-click on this NURBS object, and let's now go up to Isoparm Selection. Okay, and what we can do to actually set our isoparm is to just click on any one of these existing shapes or any one of these existing lines and just click it and drag it wherever you want to insert your new isoparm. Okay, so let's say right about here. Now that's going to create this yellow dotted line that runs along the entire surface. So now with that yellow line active, what we can do is go up to Edit NURBS, and let's go now to Insert Isoparm. Okay, and now it's actually added this one line into the geometry. So if I go now to Hole Selection, there's now a new hole that runs right through here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you jump to a wireframe view, you can see there it is. And now I can just pull this new hole down a little bit more and maybe pull it back so that we create more of a sharp rise. And now we have our ridge that comes out of the back of the wing. Okay, and to go ahead and finish off this this spoiler, let's go ahead and build the end caps for this. And to do that, let's go ahead and start by creating a polygon cube. Okay, and I'm just going to jump to my side view and again pull this cube up into position. And I'm going to position it so that it lines up pretty well with this this end cap that we can see in the image planes. Okay, so I want to pull this down and maybe pull these vertices down a little bit further and jump back to my perspective view, and let's scale this cap down so that it's quite a bit smaller as far as its overall width. Okay, so here's what we should wind up with for a start. And now let's right click on this polygon surface. Let's go down to face, and let's grab this one face that's underneath here. And now with that one face selected, let's now extrude face. And I'm pretty much just going to pull this straight down, right click on it, go to vertex selection, and now I can just grab these vertices and pull these back so that I get more of a sweeping shape. Okay, not too bad. Let's go ahead and now adjust some of these vertices so that we get a little bit more of an angle right here. Okay, and now with this polygon object selected, let's now convert this to a subdivision surface. And the reason I started out with a polygon object and converted it to a subdivision rather than just starting with a subdivision to begin with is just because I save a little bit of geometry. If I right click on this subdivision surface and go to polygon selection, you can see the polygon cage that this was built with. Now if I had actually started with a subdivision cube to begin with, I would have an extra edge that ran through here and also an extra edge that ran this way. And it just saves you a little bit of geometry by sometimes starting with a polygon shape. Okay, so in subdivision mode, I'm going to go up to edge selection. And I'm pretty much going to grab all of these edges that run all throughout this subdivision surface. Okay, so with pretty much every edge selected, what we can now do is go up to subdivision surfaces, and let's partial crease this. Okay, and partial crease one more time. Okay, and now we have the end caps for our spoiler. And there's a little bit of a hole right here at the ends of these spoilers. So what I can do to fix that is just pull these forward a little bit more. And I might need to go ahead and scale these so that they're just a little bit more narrow at the ends. Okay, now what I can do is with this end piece selected, let's group it to itself, Control G to group. And let's go ahead and duplicate it, Control D, and scale it -1 in the x-axis. So now I have these end caps and the completed spoiler. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and now start to build the recess in this rear bumper that the tailpipe comes out of.